This is Luke Radowski of WeAreChange.org reporting to you here from Acapulco, Mexico for the Anarchapulco third year. Again, people have been complaining about my introductions. You know what? This is Luke Radowski of WeAreChange.org here at Anarchapulco, the third year anniversary, and I'm joined by the one and only Tone Vase, who is an amazing, incredible individual that has been studying finance and economics as a consultant, as a trader, and right now we're talking about really exciting times where we're seeing just the insane happened. Gold's going up, silver's going up, Bitcoin's at an all-time high. The Dow is up, the U.S. dollar's up. What? I mean, I don't even know what's happening. Tone.
Hey, look, that was a great intro, actually. No, we're down here in Mexico, in Acapulco, Mexico, and it's great. And the markets are going nuts. Just last night, everyone kept watching the Bitcoin price as it crossed $1,200. Everyone is calling it a new high. To me, it almost got there. We had 1240 at Mt. Gox. People don't find that credible. But why is Bitcoin price going up all of a sudden? Well, there's multiple reasons. There is an underlying economy. People need Bitcoin in order to survive, in order to have jobs. But outside of that, there is speculative pressure. And a lot of that pressure right now, as we speak, is coming from the SEC's decision over the ETF. So the SEC on March 11th is supposed to announce whether an ETF can or can't become possible with Bitcoin as the underlying asset. People are speculating that this is a good thing and it might happen, and they are buying up the Bitcoin price, in my opinion. I happen to think that the Bitcoin ETF will not be approved, and there might be a slight correction when people are disappointed, but we do not know what the SEC is going to say.
Now, Tone has been talking about this issue for years. I mean, every conference I go to, there's Tone giving hour lectures about Bitcoin and the whole financial situation that's unfolding right in front of us. That is very exciting, that is very versatile, and very up and down. So Tone has been very nice enough to kind of break everything down in a 10-minute video where we're going to actually be able to understand what's happening. But there's also a lot of news coming from China. People are saying China's banning and approving Bitcoin. What is happening with China, since they have such a big effect on Bitcoin as well?
Yeah, the China situation is interesting, and people are speculating on what's happening over there. China did have a lot of Bitcoin volume, but that's also because their exchanges had certain things like zero fees and also leverage trading, and I never trusted their volume. Eventually, the Chinese regulators came in and said, hey guys, we want to take a look at this. We want to know what you're doing. We want to know what this whole Bitcoin thing is. So when that first happened, people got scared. They sold Bitcoin, had a little correction. The Chinese government regulators then said, okay, you guys need to get rid of this zero fee trading. You need to get rid of some of this leverage. And to me, that's a good thing. It's kind of stabilized the market, stabilized the price swings in China. But I also said, yeah, this is good, but there might be some bad coming in afterwards, because they're not going to stop there. They're going to potentially over-regulate. And the one thing that worries me the most is something we call KYC AML, Know Your Customer laws, and money laundering laws, where they want to know exactly who is buying and who is selling. And while China is putting those in, it doesn't seem like China is being all that hostile to Bitcoin, and it's going to be like the exchanges in the U.S., where they want to know who the people are that are buying and selling. It's hard to say whether everything the Chinese regulation has done up to this point is good or bad, or will be good or bad in the future. Up to now, I don't think they've done anything to really harm Bitcoin. They've done a few things that will help Bitcoin, but if they double down on identifying their customers, then more and more exchange of Bitcoin is going to move to like local Bitcoins and in-person cash transactions, which are a little more dangerous and require more premium. So we'll see where it goes. The free market will take it where it needs to.
Yeah, it's very interesting because you could always see that speculation and regulation are some of the biggest factors when it comes to this new online economic currency that everyone's kind of playing around with, and it's still developing and it's still unfolding. Where do you see it going in the future? Because obviously everyone wants to know, what's going to happen? What's this? Because people are saying there's a viability problem as well. There's a scalability problem as well. So again, speculation extremely high, and you do a good job because you're not like, oh, it's going to go to 1 million or going all crazy like some other people. You try to actually bring in both sides and be like, hey guys, it could be good, it could be bad here. and it's still developing itself. So, I mean, that's the overall trend, but how would you kind of break it down more so the average person could understand?
Well, the easiest way to break it down for the average person is that the, everyone can't be a billionaire. Investing is very hard. The more risky, the more speculative your investment, the higher the probability of a return, and also the higher the probability of a loss. I was also in that crazy state. Oh my God, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. This was back in like early like 2013, which isn't that early, but kind of early now. And guess what happened? We all got hurt. That like a whole year and a half bear market. It went down from 1,000 down to 150. And you're like, okay, and I'm supposed to be the professional here, right?
Yeah.
So the idea is, if you think something is obvious, it's not, because if everyone rushes into Bitcoin after the last person buys, there'll be nobody left to buy, and it's time for the price to go down. It's just the way markets work. You have to be at peace with that. And the more controversy, the more debate goes on in Bitcoin, it prevents a lot of these people from buying in, which is why it's not going up as fast as it did back in 2013. If Bitcoin had no problems right now, everybody would like rush in, and then it would immediately crash because everybody would rush in. It's just the way markets work. They want to sucker you in at the worst possible time. And the moment even us in the Bitcoin world relax, here comes another giant controversy that could potentially destroy Bitcoin. And in the middle of this controversy, the price is going up because enough people hear about Bitcoin and buying in, and it keeps enough people scared of Bitcoin to prevent them from buying in. Yeah. So I would say this recent price rise in the last year that has doubled the value of Bitcoin or even tripled it, it's been fairly ordinary. Yeah. There hasn't been too much hype because there's always like bad things going on as well, but you have to overcome those bad things, and so far Bitcoin has been able to do it. I hope it's able to do it forever, but we will all find out.
Yeah, there's always very basic, simple rules, like what comes up must always sometimes come down, and we're kind of seeing that globally right now. But with a lot of assets, with the dollar, with the Dow, with gold and silver, they're also going up at the same time. Do you see this at some time going down? What do you attribute for all these assets going up at the same time? Is it the Donald Trump effect, as people are saying?
I don't really think that assets are all the assets going up. I actually don't think gold is going up. I think gold is still in a bear market from its 2011 high when it hit 1900. Gold fell down to $1,050 or so just this past December. Yeah, we're back up now to about $1,250, but I still think gold is in a bear market, and I think it'll continue to go down a little bit. The Trump is creating a rally in the stock market, and that also makes sense because Trump came in swearing that he's going to lower taxes, and that's great for corporations, for all corporations and all people. If you lower taxes, people have more money to invest. If you lower taxes on corporations, the corporation should be able to have better profits, which would create this, which would allow people to put more money, have more confidence in that corporation if it's going to make more money. I got an airplane right above us. We're right by the, hey, this is Mexico. This is great. So stock market is going up. The U.S. dollar is going up, but that has nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the U.S. is just the strongest economy, like head and shoulders above the rest of the world. So obviously, if the other currencies are doing terrible, the U.S. dollar is going to go up. Real estate still has some speculative value. Look, our society is improving. As much as people think that everything is bad, I mean, look at us. We're in Mexico. We're live streaming right from here. Conferences, look at your technology. Look at your cell phone. I mean, it's great. We're about to have self-driving cars. Technology goes up, and your life becomes easier, and you're even aware of this because you don't have to farm for food. Yeah. So sometimes things just appear that way, but not everything is going up, I think.
Yeah, when you look at the charts surrounding life in general, when it comes to education, child mortality, even murders and homicides, we're all progressing towards a better civilization, a better humanity, a better existence here that we all share with each other. So I'm happy you brought that up because there is also a lot of doom and gloom. There's also a lot of, oh, the economy is going to crash. There's going to be the turmoil and all this calamities. And, oh, my God, buy some blah, 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 pills and all this other crap. Anyway, sorry, I had to. I can't help myself. Do you play into any of those kind of speculative doomsday theories, or is there one that maybe particularly worries you a little bit about the unsustainability of this rise that we're seeing right now?
That's a great question because I was buying into this like 4 to 5 years ago, especially. It's one of the reasons why it brought me into Bitcoin. And now that I'm here, I've spent the last few years trying to, okay, you know what? Maybe things aren't that bad. And then when you come out of that zone, you get a very different perspective on things. And I've been taking myself out of that zone. I also, you look at statistics, I'm sorry, violence has been generally going down the last 100 years. The world was a lot more violent 10, 20, 30 years ago. I live in New York. When my family moved to New York in like the early 90s, you couldn't walk around Manhattan at night.
Yeah, I was there. People got stabbed, shot. I saw people stabbed and shot a lot. It was not a fun place. It had more life though and culture, but regardless of that.
And you and I grew up in Brooklyn back in the early to mid 90s. Yeah, same thing. Yeah. It's just look, the world is generally getting safer, and it's the same thing with the media, like the coverage. They want to keep you glued to the TV, thinking that things are bad. Yes, some places are bad, but generally it is getting better because and technology is helping us get there. Now, my scenario, so what worries me is socialism and communism. Those ideas still prevail. Hillary winning would have been scary. And it's possible that Trump will not solve the problems. It's possible that we are way too far down the line. People always complain about the national debt in America, let's say, for example, of being 20 trillion. Yeah, that's bad, but it's not that bad because the unfunded liabilities is 120 trillion. And this is the money that the government has promised to the pensioners and the Medicare and all of these social programs. And that worries me because if that check bounces, you have internal civil unrest from the firemen, from the police, from the teachers, and they can destroy your country from within. So that worries me a little bit, not the capitalist side. Bubbles come and go. Technology always advances. But when you start offering people money and you take that away, that's a problem. So that does worry me.
And it's going to be really interesting with automation coming into the job force in the next few years, coming a lot quicker than we expected to, how everything's going to unfold. Tone, any last comments that you want to say to our audience?
No, that's it. Just try to, try to embrace some of the good things. Be aware of the bad things. If you are in the Bitcoin world, do try to pay attention to all sides. Right now, we're going through a scaling debate on how to best to scale Bitcoin. It's very, very heated. I don't know if I want to get into on this interview, but if you want to find my other work, I have plenty of content on that, on economics, on the stock market. My website is libertylifetrail.com. I'm Tone Vays on Twitter. And my YouTube channel, you'll find it as Tone Vays, Liberty Life Trail, where I do podcasts every single week. One of my podcasts is called Crypto Scam, where I talk about a token or a project in finance and the crypto space, and we try to analyze it to see how valid it is. So just Google me as Tone Vays. There'll be lots and lots of content.
Tone, that was awesome. I really enjoyed the conversation. The links to Tone and all of his work will be in the description below. Thank you again so much for having us on the show. And thank you again so much for watching. The introductions will continue. They will get more energetic and more louder. And sorry, you guys will just have to deal with it. If you guys want to see more, subscribe. Stay tuned because we're going to have a lot more information coming here your way on youtube.com/we are change.